welcome to Davita's Stampin' Spot. Today I want to share with you a technique called acetate and tissue. One that I learned many years ago, but had kind of forgotten about. So I've had fun playing with it. You'll notice that I have Snow Wonder here. This is probably my favorite set right now out of our August to December catalog, because I just think this snowman is just too fun. So we're going to be using him and the trees. We're also using, I'm using the Celebration label dies, and I'm going to be using this second largest and third largest ones for my project today. So what I did first, and I did this before I started the recording, was I took StazOn and I stamped my snowman on a piece of window sheet, is what we call it now. So I stamped it on window sheet. It does take quite a while to dry because the window sheets are a slick surface, so you have to let it set for quite a while. So I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to use my blends, and I'm going to color my little guy in. So do the little berries and leaves. And I struggled a little bit with getting some color to show up here. So of course his nose has to be orange. And I decided to go with yellow because the yellow is really standing out well when you color with it. So I'm going to do his little hat yellow. And you know I have to do purple, so we're going to add in some purple here for his scarf. Like that. Now again, this needs to dry for a little bit. So I'm going to set it aside and pull in one that I went ahead and colored. This one here, I colored everything in yellow instead of the purple there. All right, so we're going to go to the back side, and this is our Shimmery Crystal Effects, and I'm going to put a pretty good healthy amount all over. Looks like it got... I should have put the cap on. We're going to go with a new one here. And we're going to put Crystal Effects. Had to leave in a hurry earlier today, and I should have capped my Crystal Effects. Now, I learned my lesson, and you know the saying, less is more, and I found that if you use too much of this, it just gets way too dark. So I'm going to start with one. And as they say, you can always add more. Now, the person that I learned this from, she had a glove, and I didn't have a glove around, so I just happened to have some press and seal here, so I'm sealing it to my hand. And you'll notice I put 1 drop of ink with the Crystal Effects, and then I'm going to mix it all around here and kind of give it like a snowy wind look. And I want to go all the way to the edges because this whole thing will be visible on my card. I'm going to pull some of that blue down. And I'll show you why I'm going light here in just a minute. So we're going to do the Crystal Effects like that. Then I've got some glitter, and I'm going to put it here in my box. You know how it is with glitter, it goes everywhere. I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit on like that, and then shake it around. And get it covered really well. All right. Now I've taken a piece of just regular tissue paper, and it is the same size as what I cut out earlier, and I'm going to place it right over the top of this. Make sure it gets lined up. I did make the mistake the first couple times of not using quite enough Crystal Effects, and then this tissue paper did not stick very well. So you want to make sure you get it pushed down really well, and that's why I kept this on my finger so I could help push it down really well. I didn't use the press and seal on my finger really well, And I did get a lot of this on my fingers, so I've got some blue fingers to deal with. So we're going to slide that all down. And look at that. Isn't that cool looking? I just think that's so fun. All right, so then we wanted to add something for the background. So I cut out a white piece, and we're going to stamp the trees from the Snow Wonder set. I'm using Mossy Meadow. Oh, I think I told you that's Balmy Blue that I used for the ink that I swished around. All right, and we'll let that dry just a minute. Then the thing that takes a while with this one is you need to let this layer dry completely. So I'll lay it here on my table. Let me show you some of the mistakes I made with this. So this one here looks really cool, but when I put it over the trees, you can't see it. And this one here is a little bit lighter, so you could see the trees a little bit. But that's why with this last one, I went very, very light so that you could see it. My best one was actually my first one, but I made him too big. So he's really big and covers up the whole front. But I did it light enough that the trees come through, and it makes it really nice and hard when you're done. I was thinking it'd almost be fun to do another one and you could make an ornament out of it, which would be really fun, I think. So what I'm going to do when that one dries is I cut out my card with the just one size bigger. And you know, you put the edge of it, find my dies here. I'm sure you probably know how to do this, but just in case, you would take your card and lay it so that it nests, so this edge here goes right underneath that cutting, like that, and then lay it on your Big Shot and run it through like that, and then it will cut it for you. Now I have to tell you, I got the new magnetic sheet, and as you can tell, it's already getting really well loved. But look at this, guys. The whole back is magnet. So no matter where you put this on there, it's going to stick. So I'd put it on like that. It's layer 5, and so you do 1, 2, 5, and then put your 3 on top and run it through like that. So you can see that it indents it just a little bit, but I've been really pleased with how well it's sticking. Very thankful for that. So let's see if I can lay this out for you. I can't put it together yet because he's still wet, but you can see I did it light enough this time that my tree's gonna show through. So once it's dry, I'll put it together and I'll post a picture so you can see that. Again, this is a window sheet with some tissue paper and some ink and some glitter. So I hope you enjoyed this technique today, and we'll see you next week.